I don't give a shit that Anthony Weiner sent some pictures of his junk to random chicks on the web, especially since flirting online is apparently all he did, which, let's face it, is the I don't do drugs, I just smoke weed of fucking around on your wife. Until we know he did something more substantially wrong, or if being a crappy husband suddenly somehow makes him no longer a reliable pro-choice, pro-union, anti-religious right douchebaggery vote in the Senate, this cat's okay by me. Should he resign? Yeah, probably, but only because, unfortunately, him hanging around the Democrat caucus is probably going to make it that much harder to keep these assholes out of the White House. And it sucks, but you gotta think big picture. So yeah, resign, lick your wounds, come back in a couple years, run for mayor in New York, win, and give everybody the 2-for-1 special. You'll have earned it. See, I don't care about anybody's family values. Family values, whatever the fuck that means this week, is the biggest crock of bullshit in all of American politics. I don't throw in behind politicians because of party, ideology, and especially not because of what nice, honest, moral people they are. I throw in because they vote in a direction that matches my overall political goals. I don't care if my congressman or your congressman or anyone's congressman spends his weekends fucking his way through the a la carte menu at the Bunny Ranch, just so long as he comes in on Monday and fucks the grand old patriarchy just as hard. The only issue I kinda have with Weiner is that his judgment was stupid. Intelligence, that I actually do care about. No, fooling around wasn't stupid. The bullshit "I was hacked" excuse was stupid. Hell, if he was single, it wouldn't have been a 1, maybe 2-day story at most. Extra, extra, adult male has healthy sex drive, film at 11. But he's married, he didn't want his wife to kick his ass, which she has every right to do, just so we're clear, so he panicked and fibbed, and now he's fucked for a while. So really, the worst error in judgment this guy made was getting married in the first place. I mean, he's clearly not cut out for monogamy, so what the fuck was he thinking? Well, for one thing, let's be honest, Americans prefer their politicians to be married for some reason, as though the mere act of walking down the aisle confers some kind of extra gravitas on public figures. I've never really understood why. Thinking on the matter, I'd say we tend to do better when it comes to, say, the presidency, for example, with single guys. I mean, look how well we've done with the married guys who acted like they were single. Bill Clinton presided over one of the greatest periods of economic growth in American history, fooled around on his wife, they seem to have an understanding. JFK fooled around on his wife, they also seem to have an understanding. FDR, pretty much the same basic story. Lincoln's wife was a nutcase. We don't know if he fooled around, but I doubt anyone would have blamed him even back then. Meanwhile, do you think W cheated on Laura? Yeah, I don't think so either, and look how great that worked out for us. Hell, Carter was probably a fucking Sir Galahad too. Now, this is not exactly a scientific sample, I'll grant you, but it's worth thinking about. Now, people will say, I want our leaders to be married because it shows they're honest. Bullshit. Honest, married people, hell no, people in steady relationships, period, are some of the most dishonest people on the fucking planet. How do you think they survive being in relationships? Food tastes great, dear. You haven't aged a day, darling. I sure do love it when your sister visits. I care so much about your fantasy football team. I promise you, the CIA agent with the highest possible clearance tells fewer white lies in a year than the average couple has to tell in a weekend. Well, a single man might be far too distracted by sex and dating to pay attention to his job. Again, bullshit. Married men are distracted as hell. Single men in relationships are even more distracted. Oh, wait, what's my wife gonna think about this? Oh man, is it my girlfriend's birthday? Oh no, what am I gonna tell? Stable, steady, romantic relationships live and die on a succession of little white lies told for the greater good and require an incredibly distracting, time-consuming amount of work. Is this news to people? Now, to be fair, yes, average ordinary single men can be distracted from work by sex, but congressmen, senators, presidents, whatever, these are not average ordinary men. They are rich, famous, and powerful, which means they do not have to work very hard to get laid. Even if the rich, famous, and powerful thing doesn't work, spoiler alert, it works. There's escorts, there's call girls, neither of which are hard to keep under wraps if you're smart about it. Just ask John and Bobby's handlers. And men who aren't worried about where their next lay is coming from are the least distracted guys you will ever meet. Now don't get me wrong, would it be nice if things weren't this way? Would I like to be able to have political representatives who were focused, good at their jobs, and didn't need these baser matters taken care of one way or the other? Yeah, sure, I'd like that. You know what else I'd like? A fucking unicorn.